Hi friends, I'm Laura Lowe, and this video is going to be about adjustable piano benches. This video is intended mainly for older students, piano parents, and piano teachers. But students of mine, no matter what your age is, there is a secret word embedded, and if you watch this video and then come back and tell me the secret word, there will be a prize. Now, I'm going to talk about various kinds of adjustable benches, why you need an adjustable bench. We're going to look at some models together and I'll tell you what I think their pros and cons are. Be aware that I'm assuming you're playing either an acoustic piano like mine that's set at a standard height, or that you have a digital piano set to the proper height. Well, what's the proper height? The top of the keys to the floor should be about 28 or 29 inches. I've been in the market for a digital piano recently, and I've already purchased it, so please don't send me, all of your best recommendations or spam or anything like that. The piano is ordered, it's on the way. But as I was looking through the internet at various different models, I came across an ad that showed a teenager sitting cross-legged on her bed with her digital piano stretched out in front of her. Don't do that. That's terrible. Please set your digital piano at the proper height. Why do you need an adjustable bench? Playing at the right height helps you have good piano technique. It also helps prevent injury and pain. Now, when I'm sitting at the piano, my goal is that my forearm will be mostly parallel to the floor and that I have a nice rounded hand positions. I can see knuckles here, and that's what I want. I want to see some knuckles. Let's see what happens when I sit too high. I'm going to adjust my bench up a couple of notches. So that's the top. Let me go about right here. So the first thing I noticed when I'm sitting too high, even before I put my hands on the keys, I want to lean forward. I feel uncomfortable without having some of my weight going down into my foot to catch me as I lean forward. So I want to lean forward and catch some of that weight on my feet. So already by leaning forward, I feel constricted. My elbows are stuck in my ribs. So I'm going to back up a little. And I still want to lean forward now because I'm farther away from the keys. So if I were not to lean forward, what happens is my fingers flatten out. I don't see knuckles so much anymore, and I don't like that. I don't want to play with this kind of technique. So leaning forward like this, slumping over, is likely to create pain in my shoulders and my back and my neck, and I don't want that. I can't get in a really great position for proper playing technique with a rounded hand position up on my fingertips.
It feels weird for some reason.
Yeah. Is it hard to keep your hand in a good hand position? Do you think you would get tired and frustrated sitting like that? Right. This is my student Ophelia, and she is sitting too low. As you can see, the angle of her arm is definitely not parallel to the floor. She's working really hard to compensate by hitching up her shoulders. And she's going to get tired of that pretty quickly, or she's going to develop some pain in her neck and her shoulders because she's hitching it up. Now, Ophelia is a very conscientious student, and she's working very hard to hold her wrists up so that she can create a nice rounded hand position because she knows that's the way she's supposed to touch the keys. But she's going to get tired after a while, and she's going to let her wrists sag. In fact, most of my students who sit too low let their wrists sag and rest on the wooden part right there in front of the keys. When you have a concave wrist like that, you run the risk over time of developing carpal tunnel syndrome because you're putting pressure on that tunnel where that bundle of nerves runs from your arm into your hand. So this is a really bad seating position for Ophelia. Now, before we get to the benches themselves, there are some alternatives to adjustable benches. This website is called the Well Balanced Pianist, and I really like it. It has some great pictures and explanations of how to create a good sitting height using foam tiles and carpet squares. So if you go to their homepage, wellbalancedpianist.com, then we're going to information and proper seating. So they describe using these foam tiles that interlock as well as carpet squares to get a good sitting height at the piano. Now these are some adults and here's a child. And you can see they are in this picture, the final picture where she's at the perfect sitting height. They've got a carpet square, several of those foam tiles, as well as a little footrest. And this is really doable. So if you don't want to purchase an adjustable bench, this is an option. Now, the downside of this method is that students tend to be wiggly. And in my studio, we're on and off the bench quite a lot, so we would be constantly readjusting all those tiles. Also, I really prefer having an adjustable bench because I could set it up for recitals. When my parents bring their cute little children in jackets and ties and pretty dresses, I don't really want to stuff carpet squares under them. So my preference is an adjustable bench, but this is an option. So this adjustable bench is made by Exemplar Furniture Group. This is just like mine. And Exemplar Furniture Group is out of Canada, so if you purchase this one, you do have to pay some significant shipping. But this is my favorite adjustable bench. This is all the way at the top, which is about 23 inches off the floor. I'll show you how it adjusts. You just grip this lever here and bring it all the way down, or up, or anywhere in between. You can see inside there are increments in there that show you all the different levels of adjustment, 1 through 8. My students like to say, well, I'm a 2, well, I'm a 4, I'm a 5. They like to remember their numbers. This is all made of wood and steel. It's very, very durable. Interestingly enough, I share this bench at church with our regular pianist, and this is where she needs it. Now, she's an adult, but she has a short torso. I have a longer torso, and I need it down closer to standard bench height. But this is a wonderful instrument. Bench. The biggest difference between this one and mine, I bought mine 20 years ago, and the levers for adjusting it are on either side, and you use both hands. I really like this one better. One of the most common types of adjustable benches that I've seen are these benches that scroll up and down with a knob that you turn on either side. They look really nice, but they're not my favorite, especially for piano teachers. First of all, at least 50% of the ones I've ever encountered were not working very well. They tend to get wobbly, uneven, or just stop scrolling. Now, to be fair, I probably haven't had encounters with many that were the top of the line models because they're really super expensive. But even if they do work well, they're heavy as lead, they're hard to turn, they put a lot of strain on your wrists, and they just take a lot of effort to adjust. If you're a teacher and you've got to scroll that bench up and down for every student, it's a real pain in the wrist. So I'm not a fan of these. Now, the next type of bench that I want to show you is a pneumatic bench. Sometimes also called a hydraulic bench, but pneumatic is really the correct term. I don't have one of these, but I do have a chair that operates by the same system, and you probably do too. My office chair adjusts up and down using a gas cylinder, just like these pneumatic benches. I really like the look of these, and I like the ease of adjusting them up and down. I like the fact that there's an infinite number of increments between the lowest point and the highest point. They range in price from around $200 like this one, and this is a pretty good deal, $200 with free shipping, all the way up to a couple of thousand. And here's what I'm concerned about. At the lower end of the price range particularly, I'm worried about durability. So if you go to Amazon and you type in office chair gas cylinder, you'll turn up many pages of replacement cylinders. So what does that tell you? I'm not so sure my office chair, which also cost around $200, would hold up over 20 years of piano teaching and adjusting it between every student. So if you're going with a pneumatic bench as a piano teacher, I'd recommend investing in a more expensive one and making sure I had a good warranty. However, if you're buying one for a child of yours taking piano who's going to outgrow it in 5 or 6 years, and you only need to adjust the height when she has a growth spurt, you might be fine with a $200 bench. I like the fact that these benches, when they go all the way up, you don't see all of that mechanism. Doesn't that look nice? There are a variety of styles, some of which look like those fancy artist benches. So this could be a nice option for you. A couple of drawbacks. There will be a weight limit on this if you're a big person. And also children may not be able to adjust this bench by themselves. You have to sit on it to make it go down, and a small child might not be heavy enough to make it work. Now, $200 or $300 may be much more than you want to spend on an adjustable bench, and that is understandable. There are plenty of options out there that are not that expensive. Here's one on Amazon. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name of this company, Newer, but I think it looks pretty nice. My biggest complaint with the appearance is this sort of shiny metal here. I would like to see that powder coated black. My understanding also from the reviews is that this decal with the brand name can come off. But here's what I like about this bench. There are 4 sturdy legs. It has a space for piano music if you want to stick it in there, if you want music storage. I like the fact that it looks, the appearance looks like something you would enjoy having in your family room, in your living room. It doesn't look like you're in a rock studio somewhere. So I like that a lot. I'm looking at the adjustable height. It goes up to 21.65 inches. I'd like it to go a little higher, but I do think this would be sturdy as you take it up to its highest point. Now here's another one. This one was $112.99, $113. Here's another one by the same brand. This one is $85.49. The only difference I see is that it doesn't open. It doesn't have music storage. Also, this one goes up to 22 inches, I'm sorry. It goes as high as 22 inches, which is a little bit better. The higher the better as far as I'm concerned. So for $85.49, this is really a good deal. You get prime shipping. Now, if you want to keep bringing the price down, wait, let's look at this one. Still bringing the price down. This one is another brand. I'm assuming this is pronounced Songmix. I don't know. It looks similar to the Newer in the style of adjustment, but you can see this is black. I like that. That looks better. This also has music storage that you can store your piano books in. $74.99, $75, free shipping. It goes up as high as 22.4, so we're getting a little higher here. I like that. 4 sturdy legs. That's good. Now here's one that's even cheaper. This is an X-style bench, which is not my favorite, but for $54.99, $55, and free shipping, looks pretty good. It also has a lot of really good reviews. This is at the sweetwater.com site. It says it will adjust as high as 25 inches. Now, here's what you need to keep in mind with these X-style piano benches. The higher you adjust them, the higher it sits, the less stable it's going to be. So if you've got a really wiggly child, you can expect it to turn over a few times. However, you know, a somewhat unstable piano bench at the right height is better than not having an adjustable bench at the right height. So here's another X-style bench at $44.95. We're back down to about $45 here. That's about as good as you're going to get. How high does this one go? Let's see if we can figure that out. Height adjustment up to 24.5. Again, higher than mine. But when you go higher on these X style benches, you know, it's going to be more unstable. But still, this is a very affordable option. Now, both this one and the Gator brand one are going to be less practical for piano teachers who are going to need to change often between students. So I would recommend these for piano parents. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've convinced you that you need an adjustable piano bench, and I hope I've given you ideas for what to look for in a bench. The next video is going to be all about a footrest for your feet, because I think that also is essential equipment. So be sure and subscribe to my channel and keep checking back. Thanks.